So
what are we
naturally
doing?
looking for another space to.
On the delay. That's understandable too. Mine kind of come up on me immediately. Like I'm shocked that I didn't actually like ugly cry during that like raid and hype train and everything.
Holy shit! I didn't read that right at all. Ah.
Yeah. Which means that it should do 112% min. Go, bun, go! Claw everything!
I'm ready.
Alright, let's go! So, the level 60 Dragonite is now the last thing we gotta worry about, I think. I would like to see Garchomp come in next if possible.
That means potential close combat. I do think Toxapex should beat Staraptor pretty easily in a 1v1 if it doesn't have an attack boost from something like a Charm or a Tickle. Basculegion in. So now I can set up Reflect. Don't want to switch Hydreigon in. Our way of dealing with Basculegion is probably just to Dark Pulse it with Hydreigon. Now that Staraptor can't boost its attack, I think Toxapex should be pretty decent into it. So I might actually go for Reflect plus Protect with Metagross this turn, with the intention of foul playing Basculegion next turn. Staraptor still doesn't Mega Evolve. Interesting. Huh. That one's surprising to me. That looks like Scarf Basculegion too. Okay. I've got Foul Play here, so I'm actually down to just Foul Play Basculegion and switch Toxapex in now that Reflect's set up. Part of, I think, what makes this Grimmsnarl really powerful is having Fake Out, because people always expect just like Light Clay, dual screens, Parting Shot, plus an attack, like Spirit Breaker, Foul Play. So having Fake Out's really nice. And having built a Whimsicott Staraptor team, it actually often feels hard to fit Protect on the Whimsicott because there's so many moves you want. Tickle, Fake Tears, Charm, Moonblast, Encore, Tailwind, even a Grass type attack. For Swamperts. Good switch by Basculegion. Okay, Floette. Yeah, that explains it. Okay. That's fine by me, though. So interesting. They basically were like, I can flex either Mega Evolution based on what you bring, but I think now this is going to put them in really tough shape. Because I can just Parting Shot the Floette and trap it in, and Toxapex, I think, kind of just beats everything at this point. Yeah, so gonna Parting Shot into the Floette. And Infestation it. That makes sense. Like, I feel like as soon as Staraptor didn't Mega Evolve on turn 2, I was like, it's probably Floette in the back. Of course, the advantage of not Megging Staraptor is also to keep Intimidate, which now is decent into Metagross since I don't have Clear Body anymore. But, like, now I get to just pivot out, right? Reflect is up. You basically don't do any damage, so we just bring Metagross back in. Ooh, Gambit. Okay. So it's not, it is just straight up. Does Dazzle even KOS at -1? Oh my gosh. It doesn't. Toxic would have been better here on Floette, but I figured Staraptor might switch out into Basculegion there, and I wanted to trap it in. We have Scarf Hydreigon in the back, and so Dark Pulse plus Bullet Punch should secure this endgame for us. But yeah, that's interesting. It's not even Mega Staraptor at all. It is just a bluff, which I think is really cool. That makes even more sense then. But what a huge parting shot. 2 turns of Reflect. We know we've got Hydreigon in the back with Dark Pulse. I think here I'm happy to just protect Metagross and Toxic into the... Actually, if we were to get a Toxic off, it should be into Floette, in my opinion. Yep. House Respects into Metagross. Moonblast into Pex. Now we can just bring in the Hydreigon. And with this, I can just Bullet Punch, Floette, Dark Pulse, Basculegion. Cool, neither protect, perfect. There's Bullet Punch, beautiful. My only fear there was like super bulky Floette, but on their team, you would expect it to be more offensive, I would think. And this is why Scarf Hydreigon is such a cool pick. It just definitively beats Scarf Basculegion. So, yeah. Really interesting with the Staraptor, especially with Final Gambit. Wasn't expecting that given the Whimsicott lead. Super smart as a bluff, right? But it's interesting. I wonder what the item on it is. You know, it could still be regular, like Mega Staraptor, but with Final Gambit. And you run Final Gambit, Brave Bird, Close Combat, Protect to give you the flexibility of Megaing or not Megaing. I actually think that would be really smart. So, super curious what the total, like, actual set was and what the item was. The Final Gambit on Toxapex was quite nice, to be honest. Like, I feel like I had a more or less guaranteed win. Like, I still feel pretty good about the position. Yeah, you know what? I want to pull up the calc against the Floette and see in what world Bullet Punch doesn't KO. So you can see into standard Mega Floette on these Tailwind Whimsicott teams with no bulk, the Bullet Punch is a guaranteed KO, but if you make it max HP, suddenly they have a chance to survive, and of course if you give it defensive investment, which people often run heavily as well, then the Floette definitely can survive. Doesn't really matter in that position because Dark Pulse is always going to KO Basculegion, so Floette maybe gets the knockdown on a Hydreigon, but then we just Bullet Punch the Floette again the following turn, so it should be okay. But yeah, I was curious what the Bullet Punch damage calc is because I wasn't sure, and it's good to know like even if you basically have no bulk on Floette, like Bullet Punch is not a one-hit knockout. Not that we were expecting to. It comes very, very close, but is not going to get a knockout. But yeah, in that endgame, I think we were basically always locked. Okay, we've got Rain here with Sableye, as well as Swampert. I just featured a Grimmsnarl Rain team with Mega Metagross and Swampert. So if you want to see me play with that team, check out the video link down below. I think Rain has a lot of flexibility in how you want to run it in this format, like Swampert, Venusaur, Dragonite, Metagross, Scizor, like the old Megas previously, all valuable. The advantage of using Sableye over Grimmsnarl, of course, is being able to go for Rain Dance immediately for our Chaladon. So I think this is definitely a Charizard game. Sableye is going to be pretty annoying, right? Like, not being able to Toxic the Arch, I think, is also mildly annoying. If I were my opponent, I'd probably go, like, the top 4 Pokemon on their team. Grimm, Toxapex, Charizard. I think probably Hydreigon. One thing to note is because I'm not bearing physical damage here, it's okay stacking up stamina on the Arch. Sableye Swampert. Okay, I think that's pretty favorable for us in my opinion. Turn 1, I don't mind going for... I was gonna say Fake Out here into Swampert and Toxic Sableye. That feels fine. So they're gonna Mega. Curious if Sableye also has Fake Out. Like, it's kind of hard to fit onto the standard movesets on these teams, but you could run it. Okay, they just Rain Dance. Cool. Toxic. I can Parting Shot now, or I can Reflect. I think Reflect probably is better for the long run. Do I want to Infestation Swampert and trap it in? Like, Sableye having Rain Dance is pretty disruptive, right? Because even if I bring in Charizard, they can just Rain Dance Wave Crash into that slot. I do think I'm going to click Reflect here, and I think I'm going to go for Toxic into Swampert and let that start adding up. Oh, Sableye switches. Okay. Into Arch. I'm okay with that. Arch will probably get one Electro Shot off to start, though, which is obviously not bad. We're going to Wave Crash. Doesn't faint. Because the thing is now, if I can just Infestation both of these, that's going to be really tough for my opponent, right? I want a Parting Shot into our Chaladon. Here's the thing. I want to get Charizard in. Ideally. Yeah, I think I'm going to Parting Shot Arch and then... Interesting play. Okay, actually, yeah, Parting Shot Arch, switch Toxapex out in a Hydreigon, so then the Grim, when it Parting Shots, can go back into Toxapex. I assume they're going to Electro Shot, but this is where Snarls should actually be a huge deal in Hydreigon. I could bring Charizard in here, but I think it's too risky because they could just Wave Crash Electro Shot that slot. Yep, Wave Crash. Into what was the Grimmsnarl. Perfect. Swampert is slowly losing its HP. And Electro Shot, yeah. Okay, not bad. Yep. Targets the Hydreigon. Like, the play I want to make right now is to actually Snarl an Infestation into the Hydreigon slot. It's like a Hydreigon, or sorry, an Archaladon is not that scary if its special attack constantly gets decreased. They could Ice Punch Hydreigon here, but... Oh, we're actually faster than Swampert as well. Okay, that's good to know. Like I said, I don't care that much about the stamina boost here. Yep, it's going to be Ice Punch. That does not do very much. No freeze, perfect. Electro Shot. Brings you to neutral. Did they target Hydreigon? No, Pex. Yep, Toxapex survives. Brilliant. Now we infest you. Okay. So they've got leftovers, 80 to 86%. We've got leftovers. Swampert's one tick from fainting. So we've got Grim in the back. I can Snarl again right now. Yeah, the debate is whether or not I actually want to keep the trap, because I think I could go out into Grimmsnarl right now. I could also see them expecting Toxapex to Protect. And like Dragon Pulse Hydreigon instead. I think basically they should bring in Sableye to replace Swampert when Swampert faints. Which is still kind of annoying for us. Okay, I'm gonna just Baneful Bunker Snarl here. But I do think it's somewhat predictable. Swampert switches, which is smart. Into Sableye, yep. Another Snarl. I think the other debate is whether or not I should have just ripped like Draco Meteor and Charge Chaladon. I think that could have been pretty decent. Okay, they do Electro Shot again. That's great. Perfect. Okay. Rain stops. Arch keeps losing its HP a little bit more and more. Infestation keeps ticking away as well. My debate is whether or not I do want to pivot out. I think like here I'm thinking about switching Grimmsnarl in and going for another Snarl. We get Regenerator this way. Yeah, they go for Rain Dance again. Ideally, they just knock out the Grimmsnarl. We don't miss Snarl, which is fantastic. Keeps chipping away. Everything's getting really low now, which is good. And they just Electro Shot again. Cool. This is why I wanted to prioritize Snarl Hydreigon, right? Like, it's really hard for them to respond to the pressure of both Toxapex as well as Hydreigon. And it feels like they're really scared of the Toxapex specifically. Perfect. Okay. Reflect wears off. I think this turn is interesting because now it's the key turn of do I bring in Charizard? I could bring in Toxapex, but I think the answer is we bring out Zard right now. Knowing that Hydreigon's faster is a big deal. I think I'm not going to Mega Evolve here, though. If I were them, I would probably protect Arch, set up Light Screen with Sableye. I don't mind protecting Charizard, I think, and Snarling. Okay, Arch protects, that's fine. Light Screen. See, this is actually huge though, right? Because it's like you have to bring in Pelipper or Swampert now, and if it's Swampert, Scarf Hydreigon's faster than it, which is huge. Oh. That's a really bad miss. And they hang on with exactly 1%. The reason why that's a bad miss is because now they can just Rain Dance again. Oh, that really sucks. I think I had it if that miss didn't happen, but I was bound to miss, I guess. That's so unfortunate. I think I switch in Pex here. Snarl. Man, miss into the 1% survival. I mean, we knew it was going to survive on one. Yeah, they Rain Dance again. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, my other question is whether or not like a Weather Ball would have KO'd Arch, but I don't think so. Basically, yeah, if that miss doesn't happen, Swampert's at 1 HP, right? If you bring in Pelipper, then I just Mega and change the weather immediately. So I have to sacrifice Pex now. Actually, it doesn't even faint. Oh, wow. Good job, Toxapex. Wow. Although I wouldn't have minded a knockout there to give me a free switch in, I think. Sable finally faints. I think you bring in Pelipper here. The question is whether or not Pelipper has wide guard. Like, I want to... Switching in Charizard here could be incredibly risky. It would be very risky, right? I think because of the miss, though, I kind of need to go for a play, so I'm going to just hard swap Charizard out. The thing is, like, they could just easily Weather Ball right now, but I'm hoping they Wide Guard. Electroshock Pex. That works. That really works. Wow, okay. I'm totally okay with that. There's like a good chance now Toxapex can actually really start healing back up in this one too. Okay, that was a huge turn. Okay. Glad I had the conviction to switch there. Maybe I should have gone Infestation to trap them in there. Basically, I can always Mega Evolve Charizard, and I can always go for Weather Ball onto Arch, right? Like, what is stopping Baneful Bunker, Mega, Weather Ball? The only thing that would beat this is if you had Rain Dance on Pelipper as well. Either way, really fun battle. They just go for Hurricane, and we dodge it. Okay, I mean, Hurricane Dragon Pulse isn't KOing us there anyway. Yeah, like you would need Hurricane Crit or Confusion. So much about playing Weather Wars, if you're like Sun or Rain, is finding the perfect opportunity to go for the Mega Evolution when you know that they can't shut down your Sun. And we found that angle. That should be a wrap. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I was like, we should be good here, right? Because, like, you want to switch out both of your Pokemon in that position. Swampert's basically at 1 life. If it switches in, it faints from Toxic, right? And so, because our Chowdon had protected, that gave us the opening that we needed to basically run over and take the match. But Toxapex put in a ton of work in that one. Okay, we've got the team Eric Rios used to get 2nd at North American Internationals. And Eric and Wolf did go up against each other. Aerodactyl Rock Slide was a really big factor. But, of course, this is a newer version of that team, and we've got Mega Metagross. Which I think should be very good into Aerodactyl. It almost makes me wonder if they even bring Aerodactyl then. I think all of our Pokemon are good. I think we probably drop Charizard here, so it's Grimmsnarl, Toxapex, Metagross +1. And that +1, I think I lean Garchomp here. Just gives me a much better answer in a Charizard. Okay. So... what do we think they're going to lead with? Like, I think Toxapex is pretty disruptive no matter what. Whoa, Aerodactyl and Charizard. Okay, interesting. So I wonder if this is the Focus Sash Aerodactyl version. Either way, Metagross should be solid into this. I leaned Fake Out into Charizard. Question is whether or not I want to Infestation it first or Toxic it first. Right, like let's think about the long term. We have Rock Slide here, but they can Wide Guard, so every little bit of damage on Charizard does stack up. I don't mind going Toxic first here. Ooh, Frig switch in. Smart. Oh, it's not. Okay. Phew. Oh, I mean, I guess it could... Is that Gambit? Ooh. Spicy. That's a really nice play. Okay, we know their whole team already, though, which is good. My Garchomp now is really good in this position, in my opinion. So I think here I can set up Reflect for sure. If this is Swords Dance Black Glasses King Gambit, it's going to get a little scary. I'm going to go for Reflected Infestation. Okay, Garchomp protects. Nice. Beautiful. Just Iron Head. Okay, cool. That means you shouldn't be Swords Dance, which is also huge. So now King Gambit is trapped. I mean, I can Parting Shot Garchomp pretty easily. That seems fine. Parting Shot Infestation Chomp now. Okay. So like both of these are going to be trapped in. Reflect's going to be up. I think we bring in Garchomp here. It does risk them theoretically Dragon Clawing Grimmsnarl, which would be a great play. Oh, nicely done. But yeah, it's okay. It's not like we take that much damage from it. That was Life Orb, but Reflect, I mean, yeah, just 40%. Nice. Great play, though. Like, I wonder... I mean, I could have switched in Metagross there instead, right? Rough Skin activating against Infestation is so funny to me. That was a really great play by my opponent. Like, yeah, I mean, they're champion tier, as you can see. So, like, I think the argument there may have actually been to just stay in with Grimmsnarl and sacrifice it to get a free switch into Garchomp. Because I do think losing Citrus is kind of a big deal against Charizard. I don't mind switching back out into Grimmsnarl right now. And now going for Toxic on a Garchomp. I could see them protecting. I could see Gambit protecting as Garchomp attacks. Just stomping. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Toxapex is taking no damage at this point. Iron Head, cool. That's fine. No flinch. Nice. My opponent's clearly very good, though, right? Like, they have leaned into two pretty aggressive predictions back-to-back, which was doubling into Grim. And the thing is, you know, the Grimmsnarl targeting is actually pretty safe, I would say. Okay, more damage comes down. Reflect is still up. We know it's Arrow, Charizard in the back. I mean, the thing is, it could still be Mega Arrow with Ice Fang, which I think we need to respect. Kind of want to fake out Garchomp here, I think, and just finish it off that way. Infestation, Gambit. So Garchomp should faint from Toxic and Infest. Yeah, they'll KO Grim. I think, like, yeah, I should have hedged for my opponent predicting the Parting Shot and Dragon Claw and Grimmsnarl. Like, that's a pretty high level play to make, but I think them making it gives them, like, a pretty substantial positional advantage. Oh, Chomp actually has 1% left. Okay. It's fine, I'll bring Garchomp in. Just protect both Pokemon here. Okay, protect Banefall. Yeah, the main thing that I think gives me a little concern right now is I don't know the Aerodactyl set, and Metagross is not that amazing into Charizard. Like, I actually would have preferred to straight up have Hydreigon over Metagross. Okay. Because basically it's like, it feels like Garchomp is my win condition into Charizard right now, right? Which is what's scary. No more Reflect. Bring in Aerodactyl. I mean, I feel like if it's Aerodactyl, it probably has Ice Punch, or sorry, Ice Fang, is my suspicion. I want to switch into Metagross, but I'm worried they just Kowtow cleave this slot, and I think that would be really bad. So I'm leaning towards just going for... Oh, I just protected, though. I think I might make the switch, honestly, into Metagross, yeah. Toxic into Aerodactyl. So we'll pivot. I also don't know if that 12% on King Gambit's enough for a KO. Yep, there's Ice Fang. But I think it's going to be Ice Fang, Kowtow double into that slot, is my guess. Oh, it's Iron Head. That's huge. Okay. That's huge. Get Toxic and Arrow. Because basically I need Garchomp to get to an endgame to Rock Slide into them. I think I want to just Mega Bullet Punch King Gambit here. Infestation, Aerodactyl. They might switch Gambit out into Zard right now. Oh, Arrow switches actually. Okay, that's fine by me. Unless Bullet Punch doesn't KO King Gambit at 12%, which would make me really sad. Because I could have protected Metagross and gone Infestation in a Gambit. Okay, good. And if this is... Like, given that it's the Ice Fang Aerodactyl, I'm pretty sure Aerodactyl doesn't have Protect. It's Ice Fang, Rock Slide, Dual Wing Beat, Tailwind. Which means that I should just be able to now Bullet Punch KO Aerodactyl. And Toxapex should be able to 1v1 Charizard, so I don't even necessarily need Garchomp. I think I probably protect Metagross and Toxapex just to scout for a turn and also burn a Sun turn, because I assume they're going to Mega Evolve and attack here. But I'm pretty sure this Aerodactyl doesn't have Protect, especially given it has Ice Fang. So we'll protect Baneful Bunker. They should Mega Charizard now. So much about getting to an endgame with Toxapex is like, do you have enough resources around it? And right now the answer is definitely yes. I'm really happy to not see Farigiraf throughout the course of this game. And I thought it was interesting they brought Arrow and Charizard, but it makes sense, right? Because like the Aerodactyl hedges for my Charizard. Metagross actually ended up being quite impactful, even though earlier I was like, I feel like it does nothing for me and I want Hydreigon. Okay. They Tailwind, that's fine. They're always going to be faster than me anyway, so like that just more or less confirms to me I think they don't have Protect. But this turn was to 1 scout out for that, and 2, like burning Sun turns is actually really important against Charizard with the Toxapex endgame. It's interesting they clicked Heat Wave there because you do risk Wide Guard as well, but I'm just going to Bullet Punch here and Toxic into Charizard. If my opponent actually did end up having Protect on Arrow, it would make it interesting. But to be honest, I think Toxapex actually solos at this point. I don't even need Metagross or Chomp. And no Protect comes out, so we knock that out. Brilliant. Yeah, and they Weather Ball. Like, the Heat Wave might have been them being like, I'm going to call you out, you're not going to Wide Guard, and they were right. But I don't need to click Wide Guard right now because I'm happy to trade, right? And at this point, even if we didn't have Garchomp, I think Toxapex just wins this game between Toxic and Infestation. But we even managed to conserve Garchomp, which was nice. I think, like, basically, the combination of Grimmsnarl setting up that Reflect, Toxapex trapping my opponent in, and Aerodactyl not being a very high-value pick was great for us, right? But yeah, I think Swords Dance, King Gambit would have made that just a lot scarier. So I was happy not to see that. Whimsicott, Staraptor, Garchomp, Sylveon, Charizard, King Gambit. So Whimsraptor, previous approach against that was Grimmsnarl, Metagross. Don't know if I'll get away with that again. I think it's probably Grimmsnarl, Metagross, Garchomp, Pex. Zard doesn't feel that great into Chomp and an opposing Zard. The main value of it would be for King Gambit, but we can deal with King Gambit with these anyway. Hydreigon, I think, with double fairies, always a little bit awkward. That being said, it's like you totally can bring Hydreigon into, like, for example, the Big 6 matchup with Whimsicott, Mega Floette. But it just feels way more volatile, in my opinion. Okay. So, goal would be to eliminate Whimsicott. If we see Charizard, we'll probably consider something like Switch and Toxapex Parting Shot. So beyond Charizard, okay. My guess is turn 1 they just Protect with their Pokemon. I don't mind going for Fake Out, Mega, and Iron Head turn 1, because I think there's a world in which they... honestly, I think if I were them, I would be protecting Sylveon here. Yeah, so I'm going to Fake Out into Charizard, switch Metagross out into Toxapex. And then I think we aim to trap them in. Zard protects. I would expect Sylveon to protect here as well. Okay, good. That's fine. The main question here is, do I even want a Parting Shot? It's kind of awkward, right? Like, I actually am not sure I want a Parting Shot. I think I'd rather Reflect this turn. Infestation to trap Charizard in. Even though Reflect doesn't do anything for a turn, it's basically like preemptive. Like I could wide guard. I'm just worried that I switch in Chomp and it gets like blasted by a Moonblast, right? Because like Fairy coverage right now is really strong. Okay. Sylveon switches. Nice. Into Gambit. Okay, I'm fine with that. Makes me feel better about clicking Reflect as well. So, Charizard Megas. We get Reflect. Just Heat Wave. Still the question of, is this Black Glasses King Gambit for me? Also, same question. Like, I do think Parting Shot Charizard going to Garchomp now feels okay. So, like, we'll Parting Shot into you, and then now we'll go for Infestation into King Gambit. Sylveon will be pretty easy to deal with in the end game. They're going to protect Charizard, that makes sense, but it's fine. Like, I think I could hard switch Grim into Garchomp there, but I don't need to conserve my Grim that much anyway. So it's fine trading Grimmsnarl here to make sure we get the Infestation. Because the other thing is, now that you've taken that knockout, Garchomp comes in for free, and you just protect it with Charizard, right? So I can just Wide Guard plus Rock Slide. But yeah, I can't express, like, against these King Gambits that we're fighting against, if they're Black Glasses Sword Stance and they Sword Stance on these turns and start setting up, it gets really scary really quickly. So I can bring in Chomp now. Charizard's trapped in with us. Can't leave. Go for Rock Slide here. Might as well an Infestation on Gambit for a little bit of chip. We could Baneful Bunker, but I don't like clicking Baneful Bunker if I don't need to actually protect myself, because then it takes away the opportunity for you to go for a Baneful Bunker in subsequent turns, right? My other question now is what their final Pokemon is. I don't think it's going to be Whimsicott or Staraptor. I actually forget what their 6-1 was. I have to double check that. Oh, we're actually faster than Charizard. Brilliant. Oh, but they're bulky enough to survive still. Okay. I could have Wide Guarded there, actually, to cover for Heat Wave. But yeah, they Weather Ball anyway. Okay, not bad. And Gambit flinches. Cool. 3% of damage. But honestly, against King Gambit, every little bit of damage matters, because the goal is to get it low enough where Earthquake KOs, right? Like, this Garchomp's not super offensive, as you can see, and so Charizard, even at like 70-ish%, hangs on from a Rock Slide. They're probably, you know, like the standard Charizard these days with a lot of HP and defense investment to take even a max attack Rock Slide, so I'm not shocked it survived there. But it meant maybe I could have protected with Garchomp, right? Like, double protect for a turn, then Rock Slide. I think that was probably more optimal instead of taking, like, you know, 40-ish% of my health. So you can bring in Sylveon now if you're my opponent. Yeah. Reflect is still up for 2 turns. I have Wide Guard. Question is whether or not they have Moonblast or Hyper Beam. Actually, before we lock in any moves, let me just double check what they have in the back. I think their last one's going to be Garchomp. If it is Garchomp, actually, I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring that out first, but I'm fine with that. Like, Toxapex right now kind of walls both of my opponent's Pokemon, truthfully. So I'm going to protect and Toxic Sylveon. Ideally, King Gambit protects right now. Okay, they just Hyper Voice, that's fine. Yeah, I'm really surprised they brought Sylveon back in, honestly. Kowtow, cool. I feel like if you have Moonblast, you honestly should be going for it in that position. So now this next turn, I'm down to go for Wide Guard into Earthquake. Yeah. So we'll Earthquake here. And we'll Wide Guard. And if you do have Moonblast and you just happen to, like, make the read and click Hyper Voice last turn, then kudos, so be it. But I'm fine playing this way. Like, a lot of Sylveons don't even carry Moonblast, right? So. Cool. Wide Guard being able to protect us as well is so nice from these Earthquakes. Gambit feints, perfect. Now Sylveon's really on a timer. It's also going to just feint from a Bullet Punch. And they Hyper Voice, cool. I feel like that should give us the game. Toxic just keeps adding up. And I went for Toxic over Infestation because I was like, I don't really care about trapping the Sylveon in, and I think that it will just be trapped in anyway if I KO King Gambit. So I was like, I get more value out of Toxic right now. Yeah, I feel like because it was Garchomp, maybe, I guess it was because I had Reflect up. Actually, that makes sense. We've got Metagross in the back, which is obviously pretty good. I just Wide Guarded, so I can't protect Guarantee with Toxapex, so that's important to keep in mind. I'm down to just dragging. Yeah, because they get Stomping like Hyper Beam. I'm down to just Dragon Claw Garchomp and Toxic into it. Okay, good protect by Garchomp, but that's fine. Like, maybe Wide Guard Dragon Claw was safer here. It is Hyper Beam, yeah. But now your Sylveon is just useless for a turn, right? Maybe, switching Garchomp out there could have been better, now that I think about it. Like, my opponent actually could still pull this off for sure. The thing is that Garchomp should not knock out either Metagross or the Toxapex. And I have priority Bullet Punch, so this turn I can go Mega, Iron Head, Toxic. And like, I think Garchomp just needs to get too many attacks off. But the main scary thing is I could get crit right now. I could Wide Guard, but like, I think they could obviously have Stomping, and I need to respect that. I don't want to Wide Guard and waste a turn right now when I feel like I have the health advantage. Oh, we're even faster than Garchomp. Okay. Citrus Chomp makes sense. They need a KO us right now then. We actually flinch. Okay. That's anticlimactic. I really want a Garchomp to get an attack off there. If it's like, I assume they're just gonna Earthquake in that position, in which both of our Pokemon should survive, right? It's like super bulky Metagross. But now that the game is just 100% over for sure. Like, I think I was hoping to not get unlucky in this one. Definitely didn't need the Iron Head, especially because it was Citrus and not something like Soft Sand or Life Orb. But now we can just protect and Baneful Bunker. Yeah, I feel bad. It's like just always anticlimactic. I feel like when both players are playing well, you get this fun game, and then something like that happens. We did get a flinch with Rock Slide as well on King Gambit, so that was fortunate. I just want to see what ground type attack they have here. Is it Stomping? Like, I don't think Stomping or EQ knocks out either is the thing, right? And it was Stomping, yeah. So it's like, even if we didn't get that flinch, I assume they were Stomping Metagross, and even if you crit, I think Toxapex actually still wins the 1v1. But yeah, now they end up forfeiting. And I'll pull up the damage calc to show Admint Stomping into our Metagross. It's not a KO unless you get a critical hit. So let's pull up the calc. So as you can see here, max attack Garchomp Stomping Tantrum with no damage boost against max HP Metagross, even on a crit, does not get a knockout. We had taken rough skin damage though, and so with rough skin, if you get the crit, you do have a chance of getting the KO. That being said, at the end of the day, I think like it was, yeah, very high probability odds for us. And with us being faster, it means we have a chance to crit the guard chomp. We have a chance to flinch, obviously, as well. So moving first is kind of a big deal there. And so their guard chomp likely also had a lot of bulk and no speed investment because our Metagross has no speed, right? And so, yeah, a lot of the times also with these bulky chomps, like you don't have max attack either. But even with max attack, as you can see, like the expectation was for Metagross or Toxapex to always survive, barring a critical hit. Is Spatra, Lopunny, Arch, Golden Gold, Politoed, and Scovillain. I recognize my opponent's trainer name because we fought against each other multiple times and they were consistently like top 5, top 10 on the champions ladder in the previous regulation and like the premier Spatra player on the ladder. So cool to see that here. Snarl Hydreigon I think is going to be huge into this matchup because the idea is that like if you don't get to Baton Pass special attack boosts, you're not actually that scary. The main thing to respect, though, is going to be the Lopunny, because it can threaten Hydreigon immensely. Do I drop Toxapex here? That seems kind of silly, right? Is it silly? I would like to go with Grimmsnarl, Hydreigon, Toxapex, Charizard, I think. I don't think Metagross is that great here. It can't hit Golden Go. Like, it's like our coverage is not good. I do think you can make an argument for Garchomp, though, for sure. Not their Scovillain. I'm very happy to see that. I think. Because I think in this game, I can just go for Fake Out into Espathra. And Snarl. If it's these two, I'm guessing it's Arch Poly in the back. And if that's the case, I think Snarl, Scarf Hydreigon alone has an insane matchup right now. Yeah, the Protect on Spathra is kind of obvious here, so maybe I could have gone Fake Out onto the Scovillain instead, but it's fine. Okay. My main question is whether or not this is Leech Seed. Yeah. So that's their way of dealing with us, which I think is smart. I think our goal would be to Toxic the Scovillain. They probably go for Rage Powder right now, but I'm down to Parting Shot into a Spathra and Snarl. Yep. Now we bring Toxapex in. Calm Mind, yeah. It's actually really good damage from Snarl, too. I actually think it was a pretty big deal I didn't Fake Out Scovillain on turn 1. I think Espathra was always protecting there, so if I could replay turn 1, I should just target Scovillain. The damage actually really stacks up in the long run. I'm not a Toxic Scovillain. Actually, maybe we Infestation it first, just to trap it in. Yeah, I think not being able to switch is actually a huge deal, because it means you can't bring Politoed out on the field, so I'm going to Infestation Snarl. They're just going to Calm Mind. The main thing is because like the Snarls keep decreasing the special attack, so... Oh no, did we miss? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so it's like you're going to be able to Baton Pass special defense boosts over, but I think that's fine. Leech Seed into Pex. Now Scovillain's trapped. And so what's a big deal here is by trapping Scovillain, the Politoed can't switch in. And if Archaludon doesn't have the rain up for it, assuming that's what's getting Baton passed into, it's not actually that scary. There's a ton of healing right now, though, and so it's like, it's going to take a long time for me to really get value out of the Toxic plus Infestation combo, but that's okay. It'll add up eventually. I will say Infestation being contact and burning us is annoying. So this one's definitely a doozy. Gonna go for Toxic now. And Snarl. Espathra could actually damage Toxapex with a Lumina Crash. I actually kind of expect that right now, to be honest. So I might actually go Baneful Bunker here. Snarl. Maybe they just Baton Pass here, but I actually wouldn't mind a Baton Pass. Yeah, Rage Powder. Baton Pass. Okay, I could have Toxic there. Into Arch? Yes, yeah. Such an interesting one. Because, like, you can't bring Politoed out right now, which I think is, like, the main thing that's bad for them, right? Yeah, I was so sure Lumina Crash was coming that turn. Because I thought you, like, it was a free opportunity to click it once and then Baton Pass out. So, definitely some regret not getting that Toxic off. The Leech Seed is, like, really adding up too, right? So... I think I will Toxic now. Arch is at -1. Like, I don't mind switching to Grimmsnarl right now. I think, like, we need to get value out of Regenerator in this one for sure. That's one of our biggest assets. Okay, Rage Powder is fine. Hoping they Dragon Pulse into the Hydreigon. Good. Now we finally get the Toxic off, okay? This game honestly might go to timer based on how it's playing out so far. But we finally get Toxic off in a Scovillain, so that's big. Just want to be careful about, like, the Infestation trap being broken. My guess is that Scovillain Rage Powders now. I am thinking about switching out with Toxapex for Regenerator. The thing is, it breaks the trap, which means that they can get Politoed in and start clicking Electro Shot. Good Protect, yeah. We're just gonna Leech Seed again. Okay. Oh yeah. The good thing is having Regenerator can just heal back so much of this. I think as soon as Scovillain's Infestation ends, they might consider switching. And it should be ending relatively soon. think they Rage Powder now. I do think I want the Regenerator on Toxapex because it's getting dangerously low. So I'm gonna Parting Shot now, pivot out. Yep, they Rage Powder. The thing is, I do open myself up to eating up a Dragon Pulse right now on Toxapex by switching Hydreigon in like that. Bring Pex back in. Okay, nice. They called the Parting Shot up, but that's fine. Like, the Regenerator is huge. Now they can switch in Politoed is the thing. Oh, this turn is really interesting. I think this is a really key turn. If I were them, I would not target Toxapex, but what I want to do is actually Infestation into Scoville and expecting Politoed to come in. And then I expect Electro Shot or Dragon Pulse onto Hydreigon. This is a big target. Because if I call this correctly, then I change the weather and you're trapped in with Toxapex with Sun. Okay, we survive. Nice. That's huge. Good call by them. Because I thought like Toxapex switching to Grim there was really obvious, but now like we are just slowly whittling away at everything, but that's all we need, I think. Really crazy game. Politoed can Encore and Hypnosis, by the way, so we also definitely need to respect that. But I think here I want to Snarl Baneful Bunker. I think my opponent's playing fantastically. Like, this is such a long, drawn-out game, and it's one that I would say I don't have a ton of experience in, specifically because the special defense boost on our Chaladon make all the difference. I think they probably target Hydreigon here, but I kind of have to just sacrifice it, in my opinion. Yeah. Excellent targeting. I don't know, if I switched Pex out into Grimmsnarl that last turn, get the Snarl off, does it look any different? Muddy, okay. I could have Wide Guarded, switched in Charizard. No, that doesn't work, actually. It definitely does not work. Okay. Bring Charizard in now. Is that neutral? +2 Spadef. I think, like, this is a really big turn as well. I think me switching Toxapex out is fairly obvious, and I think they protect Politoed. So I'm leaning towards going for Weather Ball onto the Arch. Switch Grim in. But I think there's a world where they don't protect Politoed and they just go for Hypnosis, and that would be really bad. I just think, like, if you're my opponent, your goal is to conserve rain as much as possible, and so if you break Toxapex, you break Infestation. Okay, good. That keeps us in it. Yeah, Flash Cannon. Good play. Wow. It's not a lot of damage. Politoed switches out now. Yeah, I think Politoed definitely switches, so I can Weather Ball that slot. I think our Chaladon protects here, personally. Weather Ball here. I think the problem for me is now Electroshot is too free. Yeah, this is really well played by them. Because now you bring in... Oh, I guess actually you can only bring in one of Politoed or Scovillain. The special defense boosts were actually such a big deal, right? Because I just like can't really break through our Chaladon quickly enough. I could have swapped Grimmsnarl out there into Toxapex and then swap Toxapex back in for more Regenerator. Now you bring in Politoed, I would guess, right? This was really well done. Because I think now I can't... You can always Electroshot the... Oh, wait. If I switch Pex, Parting Shot, I reset the weather. What a game this is. It's like such a positional back and forth. Nicely done. I don't think they're clicking Electroshock here either. If they clicked Electroshock, that would be huge for us. Man, we've got some crazy games recently in this regulation. Okay, wait. I said it's huge for us. Is it actually, though? Because, like, you are still going to get it off this next turn. Huh. Does he even KO Charizard is my other question. And who did it target? My guess is it's like going in the Toxapex. Nah, is it? Do they switch in Politoed right now? I think they do. They don't. Wait, that's huge. That's huge. Okay. I could have gone Heat Wave there. But maybe that meant they're Electroshotting Charizard. Oh, it is. Yeah, that's a KO. Oh, if I went Infestation, maybe I could have... Yeah, I mean, of course they're faster. They have the speed boosts, yeah. I wonder if Infestation would have made the difference there. I don't think so. Like, I feel like my opponent's Chaladon still pulls it through. Crazy game. The problem is now you get a guaranteed Electroshot off, and because I protected, I think they should have this. So well done just to get the special defense boost on Arch. Like, I just couldn't knock it out, and not being able to Toxic it is a big deal. I'm trying to think what else I even have here. You can always just Electroshock Charizard. I mean, actually, one win con might be double protect, switch Charizard out in a Grim. But I think Arch now just gets to run away with it. I could have played towards Heatwave crit last turn. I don't think Infestation would have changed anything, to be honest. Like, I don't think the damage doesn't stack up quickly enough. Really well played by my opponent. Really, really well played. Like, I just can't break through our Chaldon with special defense boosts, right? Maybe I needed to bring Garchomp in this one. Okay, the play I was going for was correct, though, which was to double with Pex. But, yeah, we don't get it. That's honestly fine. Like, my opponent definitely deserves this one. They worked really hard for it. And I thought, yeah, like, I don't even think we necessarily made any, like, major mistakes in this one. I think it's just kind of like they won the war of attrition. And it shows, like, the fact my Weather Ball only did 36% into our Chaldon was really sad, right? To have beaten this Archaludon, I likely needed to knock everything else around it and then end Infestation into it. But, yeah. Now they should just outspeed and Dragon Pulse me for a KO. Really well done. Really well done. I mean, went to, like, it'll basically take the whole 20 minutes, but that was, a match like this was always going to end up like that, I think. So one other approach I can think of is, like, I thought this was such a clever use of Espathra just for special defense boost in this game. And I think there's, like, probably some opportunities. I don't know. I was trying to sequence, like, do I switch the Toxapex out, right? Breaking the Infestation Trap for Scovillain. I didn't necessarily feel bad, but yeah. I just think, like, it's so hard to beat our Chaldon once it gets the special defense boosts. So maybe there's an approach in this game where we actually go Garchomp. The Arch is just so bulky is the thing. Like, I would basically ideally knock out Scovillain, then bring Garchomp out, and then Earthquake. That, like, feels like what's best. But I think that game highlights the value of special defense boosts on our Chaldon. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. So thank you so much, as always, for joining me. I wasn't kidding when I said games will go on for a really long time when using this team, but I feel like we had some really high caliber opponents across the board and got to feature this team across a lot of different archetypes. And Toxapex and Grimmsnarl were honestly absolutely amazing throughout this showcase. And so I was really impressed by what they could do. That last game was really interesting because it felt like quite a difficult problem to solve. And I love how my opponent utilized the special defense boost to really just mitigate my damage output. And you can see if Toxapex cannot get a Toxic on your opponent's primary carry, it can feel really sad sometimes. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much as always for watching. My name is Aaron Cybertron Zhang. Of course, huge credits to Wolf for building the initial version of this team and to UB Slow for building an updated version. And thank you as always for watching. I'll see you all soon. All right. Peace.